Check out this Joe Rogan clip.
I do understand the allure of nature. Like, we were talking about this before, I hit you about this before, but I think something happens where, like, you get this, like, reset. Like, even you see these, like, you know, successful people, they'll go to, like, Montana, and they're not going to Montana to, like, let everybody know how nice their ranch is. I believe they're going to Montana because they're like, it's cool to look at mountains, and it's kind of, like, humbling. Like, dude, when I hit you up when I was on my honeymoon with my wife, and I'm, like, looking at the sunset off this beautiful island in Italy, and I'm like, I felt incredibly humbled.
Yeah.
And maybe you need that feeling, like maybe your world gets so warped. I wonder if you feel that way. Like, do you need to be in nature and feel so vulnerable because your regular day, that's not something that you're experiencing?
You live in cities and we drive in cars and we go into buildings and you get confused and you think that is the world. But the world is filled with all kinds of variables. And one of the more fascinating variables is nature and wildlife because they're so uncaring about you. Like, one of the things that I always get when I'm in the mountains is like, these mountains don't give a about you. They don't give a how many Instagram followers you have or how well your special did or, you know, how well your podcast.
The Bible tells us that the glory of God is displayed in nature itself. Psalm 19:1 says, "The heavens are telling of the glory of God, and the expanse is declaring the work of his hands." God's majesty is in everything that we see, to the point that man is without excuse. When we look into nature and we see creation, when we are humbled by the creative majesty of God, it brings us to thoughts of our Creator. Romans 1:20 says, "For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood through what has been made, so that they are without excuse." What's even more powerful is even after God had created all of nature, all of the mountains to show his glory and majesty, he still created man to bear his image and to come into a communion relationship with him. We are called to create. We are called to go forth and subdue the earth, to create order out of chaos, just like our God does.